Welcome, welcome, welcome to Soulfully Aligned, a warm place where you can be gently guided to peace, purpose, and healing. I'm Fatima, and I'm excited to bring you another episode. Today, we're going to be exploring self acceptance and vulnerability. And what's so wonderful about self acceptance and vulnerability is in today's lesson, we are going to explore how you can allow yourself inside of self acceptance to lift up anything that might be trapped emotionally, anything that has you have felt over the last couple of days, the last couple of months. We know that the outer world right now is a lot is shifting. Politics, a lot is shifting in prices of our basic essentials are increasing or anticipated to. Health and sickness and people's voices going in and out. There's a lot that is changing and shifting in the outer world, but we can always control our inner world. And that's what today's meditation and episode is about. It is about and understanding and allowing us to have this space to be supported in all of our emotions, to have self acceptance and have vulnerability. Now, what is self acceptance? Self acceptance is accepting yourself where you are as you are without changing anything and really being able to trust your inner wisdom and your inner guidance. It is not shifting anything or wanting things to be different. It is accepting yourself as you are, even the tough emotions. Vulnerability is sharing the most sensitive part of yourself while understanding the risk associated with it. In vulnerability, it is sharing that you could have a risk of rejection. There can be a risk that you share something and people don't understand or resonate with it. There can be a risk of isolation and separation where you're now further set apart from the connection you so desire. On the opposite side of vulnerability, you're able to connect deeper to people. You're able to form more authentic relationships within yourself and with others. And you're able to fully embrace your purpose regardless of what the outcome is. Vulnerability is a risk. That's the reality of it. But it's a risk worth taking that if we're in this journey of self acceptance and in this journey of healing, of purpose, of intentionality, it's necessary to take. And I'm here to gently guide you into that place. I took some notes, so I'm going to move here to make sure that we have everything. One piece that I want to share regarding my story of self acceptance, I have many stories, but I remember I played a role in expressing perfectionism. There was one year where I was going after my PMI certification, project management certification. I am a project manager, and I went after this certification. For those who know or are familiar, it is something that in the industry allows you to get paid more. It gives you the credentials and it requires, I took a class, it requires a large study book. And you have to pass this very strenuous test. I can't remember how many questions there were, and it's timed. And I remember years ago when I was studying for this test, and I remember feeling so excited because I was going after something that made me feel just like I'm going to be better. Like I really love improving myself. I love growing. I love the process of growth. And even in one of my strengths, it's being a learner. If you've ever taken one of the strength finders tests. And inside of this test and the studying, I remember being disciplined in everything that I was doing. And I was also at the same time simultaneously planning a childhood friend's 30th birthday party. And I was using the lessons that I was getting from the book for her party. And I was organizing groups, doing all of the things. The time came to take the test. And I was so nervous. I was so nervous. And there were some areas that I knew that was maybe a little bit challenging, but I knew I had enough to at least make it. I ended up getting my results back and I failed. I had a failing score on the test and it showed the metric. It wasn't just a pass or fail. It showed the range in which you were close or the range in which you passed exceedingly and abundantly. And I was like right there beneath the pass fail mark. And I remember saying to myself, I don't want to just be average. I don't want to just make it. And feeling at that moment just like I had failed. I had the failing score. I had failed. The efforts and works that I had done were not worth it. And I continued to beat up on myself because I did not meet this standard or mark of perfection and at least passing this exam after studying for months and telling people on top of that that I was doing it. It was embarrassing. And what this did to my self esteem and self worth is it reiterated that I'm not enough. And we experience these different situations when we are going after something and it doesn't necessarily land. But looking back, I am so grateful that I did not pass that exam because it was just another measure of giving me a badge of achievement. Perfectionists and perfectionism is surrounded around having the things to validate that you're enough when the reality is that you are enough with or without those things. But for me at that time, I was using the excuse of getting a PMI certification to give me another evidence of being worthy and validated. I failed at that test, but now looking back, I never failed myself. I was never a failure. And the same is true for you. You're never a failure. There is never, when you're going after something, you don't need to attain things or relationships or money or another certification, another degree, start another business, have another 10K in the bank. You don't need to do those extra things in order to be enough. You are enough as is. And I'm sharing this story because it's just one badge of or one story, one badge of just evidence that allows me to remember how perfectionism can be sneaky. To this day, I end up getting paid and get paid for being a project manager without the certification and make good money. Even though it's something that I'm good at, it is something that I know is inside of and connected to my purpose, although it is not my purpose. I didn't require a certification to be enough for other people to see me as enough and want to work with me. The same is true for you as well. And so today, as I mentioned, the topic is around self-acceptance and vulnerability. And to have the courage to be vulnerable and to really face what seems unsettling, what maybe seems as though you're not able to, if this thing doesn't happen, then you're not enough. It takes an immense amount of courage. So as I mentioned before, I am going to be leading you in a meditation. And the goal and the purpose of this meditation is to help create a safe and warm space for you emotionally and mentally so that you are able to visit the areas that might feel a little challenging for you to deal with in your everyday life. So I want to go ahead and get started. I want you to find a comfortable seat wherever is good for you. If you're driving and you need to pull over or wait for another time to finish this meditation, do so. I recommend doing this either first thing in the morning or first thing before you go to sleep. And just when the house is quiet, when all of the things on your to-do list have started to cease. And I want you to be intentional in creating the space, whether it be get a candle, get a journal, dim the lights, lay in a comfortable bed or comfortable couch, get some blankets and some pillows, something to make it a soft environment for you. And when you've done that, I want us to do 3 cleansing breaths. We're going to inhale for 5. We're going to hold for 5 seconds, and we're going to exhale for 5. And we're going to do that 3 times. Let's do it. And inhaling for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhaling through your nose. 5. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling through your mouth. 4, 5. Okay, friends. Today we're going to do a meditation called the Bear Meditation. I would cite this source and if I knew who it was, but whoever this author is, very grateful for this creation. In closing your eyes, I want you to envision the bear can be any difficult, unresolved situation in your life, like the pain you must endure. The interesting thing about bears is this: your attitude toward the bear can make all the difference in the world. If you provoke the bear and try to get it to leave, it may attack you and try to make a meal of you. You might try to have patience for the bear, try to outlast it, and maybe it will move on. You can even try to befriend the bear so that you and the bear can coexist. Another approach might be to just be present with compassion for both you and the bear, to bear witness, so to speak. I want you to set an intention that says, may my higher power listen with love and compassion. May my higher power not judge me. May it point me toward a wise path filled with deeper awareness, meaning, and self-compassion. Have a heart-to-heart with the higher power in your life about your pain. Spend a few moments to think about this higher power. A higher power can be anything from a belief in God to the wise, nurturing self within, or even anything in between. It could even be an admired individual. If you want, I invite you to visualize your higher power seated opposite of you. State how the bear is affecting your life. Let your higher power know about your fears, worries, emotions, and concerns. As you tell your story, know that your higher power is listening intently. In addition, know that your higher power instantly came to be by your side to you right now because he or she deeply cares about your well-being. Let your higher power know that this difficulty is something that you can't easily handle on your own, and that you have come to ask for help. Visualize your higher power as fully understanding and appreciating the wisdom you have in seeking assistance. Take a few moments to feel how nice it is not to carry the heavy weight and the burden of dealing with this bear all by yourself. Feel the lightness of this. Ask the higher power for courage to just sit with the bear. Do this without expectations, just so you might understand the bear better. The higher power may help you here to just give you another viewpoint, a wise way of being with this. Surrender to whatever happens. If there is sadness, give that to the higher power. I want you to literally envision you taking whatever this bear is and handing it over to the higher power. And know that your higher power is there with you, supporting you and sending you love and compassion in each moment. Sit for as long as you need. You are not done yet. For now, you will do something that you may have thought to be impossible. You will switch seats and positions with your higher power. This doesn't mean that you are this higher power, but that you can view yourself with care and compassion and love through the eyes of the higher power. From that vantage point, see what it's like to look at you. See your courage. Appreciate your strength. Witness your wisdom. Now, return your presence to your body. Lastly, say a blessing of gratitude and thanks for how your higher power and higher self made itself available to you, and how it will continue to do so anytime that you need assistance in the future or whenever you want to do another meditation. How did that feel? How did that feel? Take a moment to notice how you feel in your body. It's really beautiful when you get a chance to let go and to surrender and to know that you are not by yourself. You do not have to carry that weight by yourself. You never had to. In fact, you never were. It just felt like you were. Bringing an awareness to who we are and ourselves and being embracing this concept of self-acceptance, allowing us not to change anything, but to be vulnerable with what we feel, how we feel, as we feel, allows us to remember how loved, protected, and safe we always were. It allows us to lift some of that weight that we were never meant to carry off. And it also allows us to have compassion, not just for ourselves, but for others. I really hope that this meditation, this topic about self-acceptance and vulnerability landed for you. If it did, and you feel like there's someone else who could benefit from this type of message, please share it with them. Or if you choose that you need to be the one that listens to it again, do so as many times as you like. I am beyond grateful. I have my notes, so that's why you see my eyes shifting. I want to make sure I get everything that I plan for you out. I'm beyond grateful to be here with you. Again, my name is Fatima. We are adjusting from the mastery of transition to soulfully aligned, which is another transition, but it really is a place, a warm place to help support you in peace and purpose and in healing. Until next time, remain soulfully aligned and know that you're loved.